What is up, sneakerheads who watch YouTube? I did an unboxing video of these, and I'm embarrassed to say it went a little long. It went a little long, but I feel that 2/3, 3/4 of the information was good, so I left it up raw, unedited. But because it was a little long-winded, not quite concise, I want to make another video addressing some new topics that I didn't get to and re-emphasizing some of the points I made. So we're doing another video specifically. The overarching topic is why this is the greatest sneaker ever. And I should phrase that, why this is the greatest sneaker silhouette ever. This is obviously a version of that silhouette. And I get into that stuff more in my other video, the unboxing video, the initial first takes. If you want to watch that, I address what I would prefer in this type of release, what I would change about it, my ideal Chicago Jordan 1 release. So watch that video for that stuff. I also talk about what to do if you missed out on this. These will be releasing today, November 19th when I post this. And so good luck to you all. The other point I wanted to make is that other video, I think I didn't take enough time to address how stoked I am to have got these. I got these exclusive access from the SNKRS app for, taking 20 plus L's on Jordan 1s, and I am very excited that I was able to get these. That rollout, I applaud is strong, but I like that rollout. I mean, I'm biased, I got a pair, but anyways, to the main topic. Why is the Chicago Jordan 1 the best sneaker of all time? Well, I have a few thoughts and reasons, hence why I'm making a video. I'd like you to weigh in if you agree with me, disagree with me, if I left some things out that you think I should have added. But as you can see, I laced these up from the unboxing video. I put the black laces in. We'll keep the white ones for a later date. A little change up when these are looking a little beat. They'll freshen them up with a clean pair of white laces. But yeah, I think there's a variety of reasons why this is the most iconic. Well, I'll say the best sneaker of all time. I also think, it's one of the most iconic sneakers, maybe not the. I think there's a nice little pantheon of iconic sneakers, but this is, in our world of sneakerheads, this probably takes the cake, takes the crown, I should say. So first off, I think the silhouette. But a lot of people say that. What do you mean by that? The outline of this shape, I think, it has some structure to it. It's not like the Converse Chuck Taylor, which can be a little too slender for some people. Well, this has structure, stands up on its own, doesn't flop over. The low Jordan, I explained this in the other video, Jordan wanted a lower profile midsole and sole. And so I think that actually helps be more palatable to most people. I think a higher sole, like on the Air Force One, some people love the Air Force One low or high or mid. It's not for all people though. I don't know what the percentage is. 70% like it, 80% like it, 60% like it, but it's not for all people. And I think this lower profile sole helps that. Jordan didn't want to be too high up off the ground, thought he'd roll his ankle, etc. So they shaved it down. And I think that helps with the look of it on people's foot and why people like it more. Next, I think one of the great things about this is the color blocking. It's kind of specifically on the Chicago colorway Jordan 1, you got an evenly balanced amount of color blocking with 45% red, 45% white, and then maybe a little bit more red. I'm just throwing out random percentages, and 10% black. You get my point. I think that balance there on this color blocking makes it popular. As I'm talking right now, we're specifically talking about design aesthetic. There's many more things that I'm going to get into with the history, the nostalgia, Michael Jordan, the player, etc. These other factors, but I think those things wouldn't matter as much if this aesthetically wasn't as pleasing, right? There's other great players, Dr. J, who had shoes, Magic Johnson. There's other great players from the past, Patrick Ewing, really great. They don't have iconic shoes. And so there's this alchemy there that makes this the best, but we'll get into some of those in a minute. Specifically, I'm really talking about aesthetics and design right now as to why this is a popular shoe. And like I was saying, the color blocking I think is one, this well balanced amount of color of the three colors there. And then I think the main thing is the swoosh, because this is one of the greatest logos of all time. It blends perfectly with the brand of this forward motion designed in the 1970s by a female graphic designer. I don't think she gets enough credit, and here I'm missing her name. I'll put it in the description. But this is one of the most iconic logos of all time. Why is it iconic? It helped build one of these big sports apparel companies, but I think it helped because this logo's sweet. It conveys the company. Forward motion, very clean, simple, but yet bold. I think that goes a long way in making this shoe the best, because the Jordan 3, very pretty shoe. Jordan 4 also, Jordan 2 is coming back in popularity. They all lack the swoosh, and I think that's a big part of why this is the best. And then you have the distinguishing factor of that little hit. This kind of like it's almost, you wouldn't see this type of logo nowadays as much, but this hint of nostalgia, the Jordan Wings logo in a smaller form, just adds the extra flair, combined with this Nike tongue tag that's synonymous with Nike shoes. But I really think the nylon foam tongue look is a combination of retro, but just very, I don't know. The mixture of materials here is very well put together. I think too, this was the original, the Dunk, same designer, Peter Moore. This came first, and this Jordan was formed from this and some other shoes. But you can see here, the Wings logo just adds an extra bit of personality to it. And then finally, I think specifically the Chicago colorway might edge out the Breads. Has more history on the court, as the Breads didn't see action on the court, really. And same with the Black Toe. The Black Toe was just on court a few times by Michael Jordan. So you have the heritage in its use, but also just the color. I think red draws the eye. I won't get into color psychology. Some of that isn't proven to be true, but red definitely stands out and draws the eye. It's not a commonly seen color in nature, so we're naturally drawn to it. It's not earth tones. It's not green. No matter what's on, what you're wearing for pants, top, upper, outerwear, this red color draws in the eye. And I think that goes a long way into making this the best shoe. Leather always looks good, but I think all those design things kind of combine to make it the best, because there's other good looking shoes out there. There's you could a nice pair of loafers. I don't know, Stan Smiths, Jordan 3s. They're not as graphic, and this just has a little bit more spice, but not too much. It's not overdone, right? It's tasteful. Back in the day, this would have been a little flashy. Now, not so much, but now it has the benefit of time, age, nostalgia, history. But I will say that there are other great-looking Nike shoes. There's these metallics, Jordans. Very obviously very similar. There's these Tom Sachs that I'm wearing right now. All copy a lot of the design aesthetics, whether the low top or high top, right? So many people wear this shoe. I see this shoe all over the place. People who aren't into sneakers, this is just a very clean looking shoe. The Samba of Nikes, the Kill Shot 2 leather. Simple, clean, mixture of materials. You got the swoosh branding, iconic branding, nylon tongue. So there's a lot of overlap out there. Air Force Ones, clean shoe, very popular, but like I said, I don't think it's 100% popular. The main point is that this competes even with other Nike shoes that follow the same aesthetics I listed out. So what puts this over the edge? Obviously, the history, the heritage, with being the first signature shoe for the best basketball player of all time. And then Nike was the first time that they attributed a shoe to a player as strongly as they did with Michael Jordan. This was his shoe. No one else shared this shoe, and they branded as such. And I think the Nike's marketing team was more innovative than other brands. So you have this innovative marketing where other brands didn't. You have the best, but back in the beginning, he was very good, but he wasn't what he was today. But I think it helped, obviously, that he was good right out of the gate. Made this shoe popular right out of the gate, right? And so if this shoe's popular right out of the gate, then it has a lot of nostalgia for anyone born in that time period. Then luckily he stayed really good. So that I started to get into in my unboxing video, this like multi-universe theory of like what, if there's other alternate universes, this isn't the most popular shoe in the world, in those other universes, and how many things could have gone wrong such that we're not talking about this shoe in this video, we're talking about some other shoe. But he did win 6 rings. He is the universally recognized best player in basketball history. I think too, he was good looking. He had a superhuman body, but not freakish. He was taller than everybody, stronger than a regular guy, taller than regular people, I should say. But he wasn't a freak of nature. So I think that plays into it, into his popularity, and therefore his shoes' popularity. Also, he had some style with the way that he played. I think that helped. Other players had style, and some flair. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, but he wasn't a boring player. So I think that helps, in Michael Jordan's popularity, and therefore this shoe's popularity. Did I lace these wrong? No, I didn't. I was just going on weird. That's weird. So that's also part of it. But there's some, I'm going to wrap this up quick because I don't want this to go 40 minutes. But there's also some players today that are good looking, don't have throughout time, that have been very popular. There was Shaq, there's Kobe, there was Steph, and there's LeBron. But see, at this point, even though those are all the best players of their kind of time period, A, they're not agreed upon as being the greatest. B, this has already been done before. I think that's the third part, or another part to this whole alchemy of this being the greatest shoe. Jordan was the first. This is the first iconic shoe. He is the first greatest player. So even though there are imitators in Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Steph, this was the first, and therefore the most iconic. You can kind of remember maybe Shaq's first shoe, Kobe's first shoe, Steph's first shoe, but like I said, he's the first. And then also on the design scale, if you measure all those shoes in their designs, I do not think stack up to this, right? So there is that. I think that's it. That plays a big part into it. It's just some of those designs are good. Kobe has some great shoes, the Kobe 6s. LeBron has some great shoes, but all of those then lack what's very popular currently is this nostalgia factor. The Dunks are very popular right now. It looks like the same shoe. So all of those lack that. Eventually down the road, it'll be interesting. Those shoes will carry a lot of nostalgia. We already see that with Kobe. They're bringing back some Shaq models here and there. They retro old LeBrons, but and then in Steph's case, he's with a brand that's not quite as popular as Nike. So I think all of those things blend to make the best shoe ever. It's definitely the most iconic basketball shoe ever. I was trying to think before making this video what other athletes have iconic apparel, and just there's not that many. The only things that come to mind is Tiger Woods, and let me know in the comments if you agree or think of some others. But Tiger Woods' hat, and his burgundy Sunday polo shirt. I mean, that's pretty iconic. And for soccer players, maybe not tied to a single player, but the Copa Mundial cleat. Let me know in the comments what you think about my my reasoning as to why these are the greatest sneakers ever. Did I miss out on any other points? You disagree? I think there's a strong case. A lot of people would say, you know, the white on white Air Force Ones. In my other video, I listed off a bunch of other models from other brands that are kind of iconic, great sneakers. But for me, and I think for most people would agree that these are. Again, check my other video. You know, it's long. Watch it on your lunch break. Put it on the background while you're doing work. I'd appreciate that. Give this thing a thumbs up, a like, subscribe to me. It's free. If you're looking to buy these, they're sub 400 now. I think if you miss tomorrow or today when this video drops, if you miss out on the initial drop, I would wait a week and a half to 2 weeks. That tends to be, I feel like, most shoes' low point, because that's in the weeding out process of the people who really want them and the people who really want to unload them. So that you know, people are selling them at the highs. The people who really want them buy them at the highs. They start to go down as people want to sell them before they get too low. Those pairs, you want to do it at the end of that period of feeling out. So which is usually a week. People kind of tend to wait to see where the prices go for both selling and buying. And then that's the bottom period. Everyone who wanted their shoes early got them, and everyone who wanted to sell, quick sell, made their buck. At that point, I think everyone who's holding on to a pair aren't going to sell them until they hit a certain price. So that's when you should buy, before they'll start creeping up. They'll keep creeping up. People will buy, get their pairs, undead stock them. The supply will start then to dwindle. But as I said in that video, they are going to retro these at some point. I won't spend... There are alternate options I get into in that video of what you could do if you're not married to getting these or to getting Chicago ones. There are alternatives out there, so watch that. But yeah, don't spend a fortune on these. That's my main advice. Don't spend a fortune on them. Don't spend the rent money. All right, thanks for watching.